I watched Noah sitting alone in the corner of the backyard, while everyone else celebrated Marcus turning 14. There were balloons present, stacked high, and a cake big enough to feed 50 people. But Noah sat there in his faded shirt, unnoticed, invisible. My chest tightened as I remembered the promise I made to Paula before she died. That was the moment I knew I had to do something. I just did not know it would change all of our lives forever. Before I tell you how I became the father Noah needed, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling me where you are watching from, and if this story touches your heart, hit that like button and subscribe. You will not believe what happened next when I finally stood up to Dylan and Stephanie. Dylan and I go way back. We met in college, became roommates, and stayed close for 12 years. When he married Paula, I was his best man. When Noah was born, they asked me to be his godfather. I took that role seriously. Paula was one of the kindest people I ever knew. She had this way of making everyone feel seen and valued. Noah inherited that gentle spirit from her. Everything fell apart 6 years ago. Paula was driving home from work on Interstate 40 when a truck driver fell asleep at the wheel. The collision was instant. She did not suffer, they told us. But Noah did. He was only 6 years old when he lost his mother. I held that little boy at the funeral while he cried into my shoulder asking when Mommy was coming home. Dylan was devastated. We all were. For 2 years, Dylan raised Noah alone. I helped when I could, taking Noah to baseball games, helping with homework, being there when Dylan needed a break. Dylan was doing his best, but grief has a way of changing people. Then he met Stephanie at a work conference. She was recently divorced with a son named Marcus, who was 12 at the time. Dylan seemed lighter around her, happier. When he told me they were getting married, I thought maybe this was good. Maybe Noah would have a complete family again. Maybe Stephanie would be the mother figure he needed. I was wrong. The signs started small about 6 months after the wedding. Dylan invited me over for dinner, and I noticed Marcus had a brand new gaming console in his room. When I asked Noah if he wanted to play, he shook his head. He did not have one. His room looked exactly the same as before Stephanie moved in. Same old furniture, same faded curtains, same worn carpet. Meanwhile, Marcus's room had been completely renovated with fresh paint, new carpet, a flat-screen television mounted on the wall, and a bed that looked like it belonged in a furniture showroom. Then came the Disneyland trip. Dylan mentioned they were planning a family vacation. I asked Noah if he was excited. His face fell. He told me he was not going. When I asked why, he said quietly that they needed to save money and someone had to stay home. But Marcus was going. Marcus was always going. I tried talking to Dylan about it. We met for coffee and I brought it up carefully. He brushed it off. Noah understands cruise. He is a good kid. He does not complain. But that was exactly the problem. Noah had learned not to complain because complaining changed nothing. I left that conversation feeling uneasy, but telling myself maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was seeing problems that were not there. Then came Marcus's 14th birthday party. Dylan and Stephanie went all out. They rented a bounce house, hired a DJ, set up a buffet table with catered food, and invited 30 of Marcus's friends. The backyard looked like a carnival. I arrived with a gift for Marcus and immediately searched for Noah. I found him sitting on the back steps away from the chaos, watching everyone else have fun. He was wearing an old t-shirt with a small stain near the collar, and jeans that were too short for his growing legs. His sneakers had a hole forming near the toe. I sat down next to him. "You okay, buddy?" I asked. He gave me a small smile. "I am fine, Uncle Cruz. It is Marcus's day. He deserves it." But I could see the hurt in his eyes. I watched as Dylan brought out the presents. Marcus opened box after box. A PlayStation 5, an iPhone, designer sneakers, a signed jersey from his favorite basketball player. The pile of expensive gifts seemed endless. I asked Noah what he wanted for his birthday, which was coming up in 2 weeks. He looked down at his hands. "Dad said we cannot afford a party this year. Maybe just a cake." My stomach dropped. They could not afford a party for Noah, but they just spent thousands on Marcus's celebration. I felt anger rising in my chest. But I kept my voice calm. "What do you want, Noah?" "Really want?" He thought for a moment. "I would like a bike. There is a bike path near school, and my friends ride there after class. But it is okay if I cannot have one." That night I could not sleep. I kept thinking about Noah's face, about how he had learned to expect nothing while watching Marcus get everything. I decided I needed to pay closer attention. Over the next 2 months, I made excuses to visit Dylan's house every week. What I discovered made my blood boil. The differences were everywhere once I started looking. Dinner time was the most obvious. I showed up unannounced one evening, and Stephanie was serving steak with roasted vegetables. Marcus had a full plate. Noah had spaghetti with plain tomato sauce. When I asked about it, Stephanie said Noah preferred simple food. But I remembered Noah loving steak when Paula was alive. They used to grill together on weekends. Activities were another glaring issue. Marcus played on a competitive basketball league that cost $200 a month plus travel expenses for tournaments. He also took tennis lessons twice a week. When I asked Noah about after-school activities, he mentioned wanting to join the soccer team. I asked Dylan about it. He sighed and said they could not fit another activity into the budget right now. But Marcus had 2 expensive activities. The math did not add up. I started documenting everything. The way Stephanie bought Marcus new clothes from department stores while Noah wore hand-me-downs that were too big or too small. The way Dylan and Stephanie attended every single one of Marcus's basketball games, cheering loudly, but never asked Noah about his school day. The way Marcus got help with homework at the dining table while Noah did his alone in his room. Then came Noah's 12th birthday. I bought him the bike he wanted. It was not the fanciest model, but it was sturdy blue and had everything a kid would need. I showed up at their house that evening, expecting at least a small celebration. What I found broke my heart. There were no decorations, no balloons, no streamers, nothing. The house looked like any other Tuesday. A small cake from the grocery store sat on the kitchen counter, still in its plastic container. Dylan, Stephanie, and Marcus were in the living room watching television like it was a normal evening. "Happy birthday, Noah," I said, pulling him into a hug. "I got you something." His eyes went wide when he saw the bike. He actually started crying. "Really?" "For me," he whispered. "Thank you, Uncle Cruz. Thank you so much." Stephanie walked into the garage where we were. Her expression was cold. "That is too much, Cruz. You are spoiling him. He needs to learn the value of money." "Learn the value of money? He is 12 years old, and you cannot even throw him a proper birthday party." I shot back. My voice was louder than I intended. "You need to stop interfering with our parenting," she said sharply. "This is our family, our rules." Dylan appeared in the doorway. "What is going on?" Stephanie turned to him. "Cruz thinks he can come in here and undermine us. He just gave Noah an expensive gift without asking us first." I looked at my oldest friend. "Dylan," I said carefully, "when is the last time you made Noah feel special? When is the last time he felt like he mattered as much as Marcus?" Dylan's face hardened. "You do not get to come into my house and judge how I raise my son." "That is exactly the problem," I said. "You are not raising him. You are just housing him." I left before I said something I would regret, but not before seeing Noah's face pressed against his bedroom window watching me go, the bike still clutched in his hands. 2 weeks later, my phone rang during a work meeting. It was the hospital. Noah had fallen down the stairs at school and broken his arm. They needed someone to come immediately. I raced there, my heart pounding. When I arrived, Noah was lying in a hospital bed, tears streaming down his face, completely alone. The nurse said they had called his parents. They said they would come after Marcus's basketball game finished. I sat beside Noah, holding his good hand. "It is going to be okay, buddy. I am here." The doctor came in, set his arm, and wrapped it in a blue cast. 2 hours passed. Noah kept asking if his dad was coming. I did not know what to tell him. Finally, Dylan and Stephanie walked in. They had been at the game for over 2 hours. "Marcus needed us there," Dylan explained. "It was the championship." He looked at Noah like this was reasonable. Stephanie barely glanced at Noah. It is just a broken arm. Kids break bones all the time. He will be fine. She did not touch him, did not hug him, did not ask if he was scared or in pain. She complained about the hospital bill and how this was going to mess up their budget for the month. I felt something inside me snap. That night alone in my apartment, I made a decision. I could not watch this anymore. I could not let Noah grow up believing he was worth less than Marcus, that he did not deserve love and attention. I called a family lawyer the next morning. The lawyer explained my options. As Noah's godfather, and because Paula had named me in her will as a backup guardian, I had legal standing to petition for custody if I could prove neglect, not abuse. Neglect. Emotional neglect is harder to prove, the lawyer warned, but with enough documentation, we might have a case. I told him I had been documenting everything for months. I reached out to Noah's teacher, Miss Anderson. She agreed to speak with me. What she told me was worse than I imagined. Noah frequently came to school without breakfast. He did not have money for lunch and often went hungry or ate scraps from friends. His clothes were rarely clean. Some kids had started bullying him because of it. He borrowed school supplies from classmates because he did not have his own. Miss Anderson had tried calling Dylan and Stephanie multiple times, but they never responded or showed up for conferences. Meanwhile, Marcus had everything. New clothes, packed lunches, all the supplies he needed. Miss Anderson had taught both boys and could not understand why they were treated so differently. She agreed to provide a written statement. I gathered medical records from the hospital showing Dylan and Stephanie's delayed response. I collected photographs of the boys' rooms, their clothes, their belongings. I built a case. Then I did something I never thought I would do. I called Dylan and Stephanie and asked them to meet me at a coffee shop. "We need to talk about Noah," I said. Both of them showed up looking annoyed. "What now, Cruz?" Stephanie said before she even sat down. I slid a folder across the table. Inside was everything. The documentation, the teacher's statement, the photos, the medical records. Dylan's face went pale as he flipped through the pages. "What is this?" "This is proof that Noah is being neglected," I said calmly. Neglected? Stephanie's voice rose. "How dare you? We provide for him. He has a roof over his head, food, clothes. He has the basics," I agreed. "But Marcus has so much more, and you know it." I let them process what they were seeing. Then I laid out my proposal. "Let Noah come live with me. I will take full financial responsibility. You can visit whenever you want. But he needs a home where he is valued, where he feels loved, where he is not constantly reminded that he is less important than his stepbrother." Stephanie's face turned red. "This is ridiculous. You cannot just take someone's child." She looked at Dylan for support. But Dylan was staring at the photographs. One showed Noah's sparse room next to Marcus's fully decorated one. Another showed Noah in worn clothes standing next to Marcus, in a brand new outfit. There was a picture of the birthday party side by side. The contrast was undeniable. Dylan looked up at me, and for the first time in years I saw something in his eyes. Shame. "I am prepared to file for custody," I continued. "I have legal standing as his godfather. I have evidence of emotional neglect. It will go to court. It will be public. It will be messy. Or you can agree to let him stay with me voluntarily. Trial basis. 3 months. If you think I am wrong, if you think he is better off with you, we can revisit it then. But I think you know the truth, Dylan. I think you have known it for a while." Stephanie started to argue, but Dylan held up his hand. He was quiet for a long moment. Finally he spoke. "You really think you can do better?" "Yes," I said without hesitation. "Because I will put Noah first. Not second. Not last. First. The way Paula would have wanted. The way you used to. Before." Dylan flinched at the mention of Paula. "Before what?" he asked quietly. "Before you chose keeping Stephanie happy over being a father to your son." The words hung in the air. Stephanie stood up. "If you sign anything, Dylan, I swear." But Dylan was not looking at her. He was looking at me. 3 months, he asked. 3 months, I confirmed. After that, we talk again. See how Noah is doing. Make decisions based on what is best for him, not what is easiest for you. Dylan closed the folder. He looked exhausted. Okay, he can stay with you. For 3 months. Stephanie gasped. Dylan, you cannot be serious. He stood up. I am serious. Cruz is right. I have not been the father I should be. Maybe this is what Noah needs. That weekend I picked Noah up from their house. He had packed one small suitcase with his few belongings. As we walked to my car, he did not look back. The drive to my apartment was quiet. When we arrived, I led him down the hall to the second bedroom. I had spent the entire week preparing it. I painted the walls a deep blue, his favorite color. I bought a new bed with a thick mattress and soft blankets. There was a desk for homework shelves, for books and posters of his favorite soccer players on the walls. A few soccer balls sat in the corner along with cleats in his size. Noah stood in the doorway, frozen. Is this really for me? He whispered. It is your home now, buddy, for as long as you need it. He dropped his suitcase and threw his arms around me. He sobbed into my chest, and I held him tight. Thank you, Uncle Cruz. Thank you so much. You do not have to thank me, I said softly. This is what family does. We show up. We take care of each other. That first night I made us spaghetti and meatballs, one of Paula's recipes I remembered. We ate at the table together, talking about school soccer, his favorite movies. Simple conversation. But Noah smiled more during that one dinner than I had seen him smile in months. After dinner, we watched a movie together. When it was time for bed, I tucked him in like I used to when he was little. Good night, Noah. If you need anything, I am right down the hall. He looked up at me with those big eyes. Uncle Cruz. Yeah, buddy. Am I really allowed to stay? As long as you want, I promised. He smiled and closed his eyes. The first 3 months were about building routine and trust. Every morning I made Noah breakfast. Nothing fancy. Eggs, toast, sometimes pancakes on weekends. But it was consistent. He never went to school hungry. I packed his lunch every day, making sure he had enough food, and including little notes that said things like, "Have a great day," or "You are awesome." Small things that reminded him someone cared. I drove him to school every morning and picked him up every afternoon. We would talk about his day on the drive home. At first his answers were short. It was fine. It was okay. But gradually he started opening up. He told me about his classes, his teachers, the kids he was becoming friends with. I asked questions. I listened. I showed him that his day mattered to me. Homework happened at the kitchen table where I could help if he needed it. I was not great at math, but we figured it out together. On weekends, we went to the park, threw a football around, or watched movies. I also signed him up for the soccer team he had wanted to join. The registration fee was $120. When I handed over the check, Noah looked at me with disbelief. Really, I get to play. Really, I said. You are going to be great. Watching him at his first practice was incredible. He was nervous at first, but once he got on the field, something shifted. He was fast, coordinated, and clearly talented. The coach complimented him after practice. Your son has real potential, he told me. Noah beamed. I did not correct the coach. In that moment it felt right. I also took Noah shopping for new clothes. Nothing extravagant, but clothes that fit, that were clean, that made him feel good. We picked out jeans, t-shirts, a new jacket, and shoes without holes. In the dressing room, Noah stared at himself in the mirror, wearing his new outfit. I look different, he said. You look happy, I replied. He smiled. Miss Anderson called me after the first month. I wanted to let you know that Noah is doing so much better. He is more engaged in class. His grades are improving, and he seems happier. Thank you for whatever you are doing. I am just being there, I told her. That is all he needed. Someone to be there. By the end of 3 months, Noah had transformed. He was more confident, more outgoing. He made friends. He got invited to birthday parties. His grades went from C's and D's to B's and A's. He laughed more. He talked more. He was becoming the kid he was always meant to be. One night, as I was saying goodnight, he grabbed my hand. "Uncle Cruz, can I stay with you? Please. I do not want to go back." My heart ached. "I need to talk to your dad first." "Okay. But I promise whatever happens, I will make sure you are taken care of." He nodded, trusting me completely. The next day I called Dylan. We met at the same coffee shop. He looked rough, tired, older. "How is he?" Dylan asked immediately. "He is great," I said honestly. "He is thriving." Dylan nodded slowly. "I have been thinking a lot these past few months. About Paula. About the kind of father I used to be. About the kind of father I became." He paused, collecting his thoughts. "Stephanie gave me an ultimatum when we got married. She said if I wanted our marriage to work, I needed to prioritize our new family. That meant Marcus came first. I thought I could balance it. I thought Noah would understand. But I did not balance it. I abandoned him. He looked up at me with red eyes. I failed him. Cruz. I was so focused on making Stephanie happy, on keeping the peace at home, that I forgot what being a father actually means. It means sacrifice. It means putting your kids first even when it is hard. Especially when it is hard. I did not say anything. I let him continue. Seeing Noah with you, hearing from his teacher how much better he is doing, it kills me. But it also shows me the truth. He is better off with you. You are giving him what I could not. I did not feel victorious hearing this. I felt sad. Sad for the friendship we lost. Sad for Noah losing years with his father. Sad that it came to this. "So what do you want to do?" I asked. Dylan pulled out an envelope. Inside were legal documents. Custody papers. "I am signing over full custody to you. Noah is your son now legally. I will still be his father, but you will make the decisions. You will be the one he counts on." I stared at the papers. "Are you sure?" He nodded. "It is the only right thing I have done for him in years." "What about Stephanie?" I asked. "She is not fighting it," he said quietly. "I think she is relieved. And Marcus, he does not really know what is happening. We told him, Noah is staying with you for school reasons." He shrugged. "He does not ask many questions." I signed the papers. Dylan watched me, then stood up. "Take care of him, Cruz." "I will," I promised. "And Dylan, you are always welcome to visit. You are still his father, but you need to earn back his trust. That is on you." He nodded. "I know." We shook hands and he left. I sat there for a long time holding those papers, feeling the weight of what I had just taken on. I was now responsible for Noah, completely, and I would not let him down. A year has passed since Noah came to live with me. The change in him is remarkable. He grew 3 inches, filled out from regular meals, and his confidence is unshakable. He made the school's varsity soccer team as a 7th grader, which almost never happens. I go to every single game cheering louder than any other parent. After one particularly great game where he scored 2 goals, he ran over to me and we hugged. "Did you see that, Uncle Cruz? Did you see?" "I saw Buddy." "You were amazing." His grades are consistently A's and B's. He has a solid group of friends who come over to hang out, play video games, and just be kids. Our apartment is often loud with laughter, and I love it. Noah still calls me Uncle Cruz, but the way he looks at me, the way he trusts me, it feels like so much more. I never try to replace Dylan. I never say anything negative about him. But I show Noah every single day, through my actions, what it means to be loved unconditionally. Dylan visits once a month. The visits are cordial, but distant. Noah is polite, but not warm. He answers Dylan's questions, but does not volunteer much information. Their relationship is damaged, maybe permanently. But I leave that door open. I never discourage contact. If they can rebuild something, I want that for Noah. But it has to come from Dylan, putting in real effort. Stephanie never visits. Marcus and Noah do not have much of a relationship either. They are strangers who happen to share a father. Last month was Noah's 13th birthday. We threw him a real party. I invited his soccer team, his school friends, and Miss Anderson. We had pizza games, a huge cake with a soccer ball design, and a pile of presents. When Noah blew out his candles, he looked around the room at all the people who cared about him, and he smiled bigger than I have ever seen. Later that night, after everyone left, he helped me clean up. Uncle Cruz. Yeah. Thank you. For everything. For choosing me. I stopped what I was doing and looked at him. Noah, I did not choose you. You were always mine. From the moment I became your godfather. I was just waiting for the chance to show you how much you matter. He hugged me tight. I love you, Uncle Cruz. I love you too, buddy, so much. Reflecting on this whole journey, I have learned something important. Being a father is not about biology. It is not about whose DNA you carry. It is about showing up every single day. It is about sacrifice. It is about putting a child's needs above your own comfort, your own convenience, your own desires. It is about consistency, love, and making sure that child knows without a doubt that they matter, that they are worthy, that they are loved. I do not regret my decision for a second. Yes, it changed my life. I had to adjust my work schedule, my social life, my entire routine. But gaining Noah was worth every adjustment. Watching him grow into this confident, happy, kind young man is the greatest privilege of my life. I think Paula would be proud. I hope she knows, wherever she is, that her son is okay. More than okay. He is thriving. Sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the family you are born into. Sometimes love means stepping in when others step away. Sometimes being a father means doing the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, because a child's well-being depends on it. I stepped in for Noah because no one else would. And I would do it again 1,000 times over. Tonight, Noah and I are making tacos together, his current favorite meal. We are planning a camping trip next weekend. He is excited to try fishing for the first time. As we chop vegetables and joke around, I look at him and feel overwhelming gratitude. Gratitude that I was in a position to help. Gratitude that Noah trusted me. Gratitude for this second chance to get it right. I do not know what the future holds for Noah and me, but I know one thing for sure. He will never doubt that he is loved, and that is all that really matters. What would you do if you saw a child being treated unfairly in their own home? Would you have the courage to step in like I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe to hear more real stories about family sacrifice and love. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Thank you for listening to my story, and I wish you and your loved ones nothing but happiness and the courage to always choose love. Take care.